Here's a big update for you. MT. MT. Not the abbreviation for mountain. Empty. Empty. Why is it empty? Well, it's Super Shellac Day. Super Shellac Saturday. I got everything sanded down. I got it puttied up. Puttied up, sanded down. Look at all of this. And this isn't even all of it. I still have one shelf to build. And I'm done sanding for the day. So I thought, let's get to shellacking. You know, shellac is one of those things that when you do it, you see immediate gratification. You know, you see it done. Let's get another angle on this. And it kind of makes you feel like you did something. Like, what did I accomplish here? So, oh boy, there's the shop inspector. I did something wrong. Oh, he had to make sure I wasn't leaving. Job's not over. So anyway, you could see I got it sanded down nice. And I also wiped it all down with rag and water. Obviously not there on the inside. But look, I put a little closet hanger thing in there. So I'll work on that inside after we're done. I'm not worried about that because that's not getting shellacked. So, that's another view of it. I'm going to get to shellacking. Have a word with my shop inspectors. They're both here. So nothing's getting by them. They know this is a top flight job right here. They're going to be on it. So, one last look empty. Next time you see this, it's going to be pretty full. Pretty full. As soon as I get all this stuff put in, shellacked, then I can build the bed. Get that back shelf going. There's our kitchen counter. It's just waiting to have some Wilson art put on it. I'm going to build the table first. I like to do those both at the same time. Anyway, enough of my jibber jabber. Let me get to work. Well, I've got a couple done, but really, what I wanted to tell you is I am no longer recommending the multi-painter. It used to be called the handy painter. They were 78 cents each, and they worked really well. Then they were gone. Then they came back as the Bear multi-painter, $2.78. Apparently I was buying too many of them. They don't hold up anymore though. They fall apart. I didn't even get one done on each, one project done on each multi-painter. I gotta take my recommendation off. I hope you didn't buy too many of them on my recommendation. They used to be good. Not so much now. I gotta switch over to plan B. What's plan B, you ask yourself? Plan B is for brush. That's all I had. Other than the big deck ones that I got. But that's, I mean, I don't want to just do a couple of these because that's really about all I had left. So I dug in, got this paintbrush out. I mean, it lays down real nice. I mean, you can see it looks good. It really does. It just takes forever. Not designed to hold shellac in those little hairs there. So, got them done. I've got one more piece I need to do. I got to build it, that little back shelf. So I'll get that built when I get it built, and I'll shellac it when I get it built. But as for now, or maybe you want to see. Hey, hold on. Stay right there. That was just a little bit rude of me to think that you were done for today. Anyway, I had to sand this one down a little bit and clean it up. That handy painter just made a mess, but it came out good. There's the other, not the door sign. Door sign. There's a kitchen down there. I did those drawers on the sides like I said I would, and I think they look really good. Let's see. I mean, look at that little tiger stripe, man. That just made that orange glow pop. Love it. Cabinets over the sink, cabinets next to the kitchen. And then this is the door side cabinet. And that's where the microwaves go on. That's where refrigerators go on. Little storage over the wheel well. And then a big closet right there. And I guess that's about the bulk of it right there, I guess. I don't think I got anything hidden off to the side here, do I? No, that's it. So I'm gonna take a little break. It's starting to get hot here again. And I'm going to let it dry. And once it gets dry, then I've got to start making some space in there, and I've got to square these walls against this. I've already checked here. We're square there. I've already checked here. We're square there. And I checked that. So anytime I put any one of these on one of those walls and get it screwed in square, that's going to square these walls up because they're about 2 inches leaning to the east, and we don't want that. Definitely do not want that. So I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to dry pretty quick, and then I'll take you along when we install. Starting to look like a job site in here. I want to show you a couple of tips and tricks. So I'm getting ready to set this wall right here. And of course, you know it starts right here to get our measurement, because wherever this stops is where that starts. Of course, we already got our bed rail set, and that dictated where our kitchen was going to go. Now, you've got to have your camper level. So you see I got my 4-foot level, I got my 2-foot level, and I've been leveling everything out as I go. So I'm going to get this guy set, leveled, and it's already level. I mean, I've checked it 3 or 4 times already, but I'll check it again. And I'll get that level, and then I can put this in. These have to be on 90s. That has to be on 90s. You've got to put your carpenter square on it. That has to be on a 90. Or your walls are going to do in and out, in and out. You don't want a wavy sidewall. So how I do that is I get it set with this strap. See this strap? That's just your regular old strap. But I run it all the way. Can you see that? All the way over there. And hook it in. Let me get this set back. So anyway, then I take my 4-foot level and I put it on the wall and I check the bubble. And then I tighten this or loosen this, usually tighten, until I get my 4-foot level on bubble. But right before I do that, I make sure that my 2-foot level is on bubble on the floor. So when you get on bubble on the floor, then you adjust your ratchet strap to be on bubble on the wall. Then you take your 90, which will start with this one, and I'm just going to keep everything on ratchet for right now. And then I will put this one in, and this one will not only screw into the floor, it'll screw into the wall. And now that's 90. That's not going to move back out. I'll still keep my ratchet on it because I want to come back over here. And when I come back over here, I'm going to set that really big closet. And that big closet is going to cover this piece and that piece. Right there, that 90 is covering that front 4 feet. So the closet will square up this back 8 feet. Same over here. Once I get this big boy right there set in place, he's going to handle this 4 foot and this 4 foot with a little help from down here. And then the kitchen, if you could see, is going to help with this 4 foot and then get that 4 foot. And then we can take the ratchet strap off because we're square then. Just a little tip, a little trick. I already got that one set. A few more things I've got to do, and I'll keep you going as we go. Making some real progress here. Take a look. Got a lot of doors to make. Lots of doors. But look at this. I mean, woo, great camera work. Glad you stopped by. But anyway, what I wanted to kind of show you, because I talk about it all the time, and I don't know, it might have been a while since I showed you what I'm talking about. So we're going to hang this little top cabinet right here. I got my cabinet welting on. It matches this, so I took this off so that this is going to sit in there real tight. So I kind of drew a line when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. This has to go up against here, and we're going to go probably to about that line is what I've got figured. Now, once I get it up there and get it set, I'm just going to tack it in. And I've got a couple of spots to do that. Right here, and another one down there. So when I get that tacked in real good, then I can go to the outside and then I can run my screws in. I'm going to use 1 1/4 screws. That's going to give me 3/4 of an inch in to here. Probably just a little bit less than that because this is about 3/4. So you don't want to poke it through. So anyway, nuggy jabber, let's get this moving a little bit here. So I want to make sure that I don't go above the top right here. And I think we're pretty not close. Get back down. About right there, I think, is pretty good for this end. So I just give it a little tack like that, and that makes it a little bit easier for me. Now I can come over here, and I think that's real close. Oh, yeah, probably a 2-person job. There we go. I'm gonna put a big hand clamp on that. Give it a double pow pow. All right. So what's the over under on whether this is bubble on or not? Woo! Exactly. But I've been doing this as I went. I mean, right from the very beginning, I've been putting them up against here. Oh, that's upside down. I mean, that's bubble on. I went up here. That is right bubble on. I'm here. It's bubble on. So this should be bubble on, and it is. You got to start at the beginning, and that was with the floor. East, west, north, south. East and west, north and south. Get that really as close as you can get it, and then do the same thing in here. I just like using the bubble. It seems to work really well for me. Everybody has different things they use. I use a carpenter square as well. But anyway, so that's got that right where I want it. I've got to screw it in from the outside. I better give it a little, now that I know we're square, a little pow pow here. Another one right there. I'll tell you one thing I did before. Now when you go to put your AC in, your AC is bigger in the front, or smaller in the front than when you need to make your exhaust. So if you install your kitchen cabinet or whatever cabinet without putting your exhaust manifold in there, it's not going to fit. Mine has this set for the sink, so it's not wide enough. This is where the AC goes in. It's not wide enough or tall enough because it has to fit over it. I did that once, and I don't like doing things twice, but I remembered this time. I even checked it's not in there backwards. I've done that before because one side's a straight edge. The other one has that angle. So anyway, I'm happy about that. Probably not as big a deal to you as it is to me. I think you feel for me, don't you? You do. Yeah, okay. So we're really good set here. Because now that brings twice that were covering this, and this whole thing up and down covers that 4 foot right there. I hope you could have seen me in that. Now, let me see if I can move this camera. We did build that little cabinet up there. I'm gonna put a really nice light right there. Really nice light right there. I think it's gonna be cool. And maybe one under here, and maybe even one right here, because the bed's down here. Now, okay, we got that in. Now, we've set that. We know where the door is. So we got to come over this way with that great big cabinet. I don't know if I'm going to tackle that right now. I might have to eat lunch and get my strength up. Get my strength up. So that's where we're at. Showed you a few tricks and tips on that. Let me decide how I'm going to tackle this big dog over here. It is starting to get crowded in here, but that's how they were. I'm guessing. I have an idea, but it's looking good. Everything is on bubble. Feel really good about that. This door, if you ever watched that when we did the King, this door is similar to the King, where the door's gonna go right here on this side of this cabinet and on this side of that dinette seating. If you remember that King, it made the door frame out of wood. There wasn't, like on a lot of campers, a metal frame that had the piano hinge welded on it. We don't have that. And I've only got pieces of this door, and it's over here. Right here it is. I really, really, really wanted, look at this detail. I really wanted to salvage this and sand it down and reuse it. You know, it's 70-something-year-old wood, you know? Well, 70 exactly, I guess, isn't it? I think we can do a little better than that, but that's all right. Maybe we can't. Let me flip this around and you can enjoy my camera work. So from this side is where I'm taking my measurements. This outside measurement is only what it is because of what size lumber you're going to use. And, you know, a little bit primitive, but, you know, the other side has trimmed out, so I guess that's not a big deal. But anyway, I would reuse this in a heartbeat except for this. We've got a few spots that just did not survive. You know, we can trim all this down. We can putty those holes, you know, but you can't get rid of the rot. You really can't. And it's a very simple design. My problem, though, is, remember our door over here? I mean, this is a very simple door. It's literally it's this. Of course, we're gonna fill that in with some rigid insulation, of course. And then it's got some metal that goes over the top of it. That's all it is. And then one side is gonna have just a U-channel of metal, and then you're gonna just screw right into that, the piano hinge. And this other side's gonna have that bargment that we found on that pick with our friend Kathy up in Kansas. It'll go right there. And then again, this is just going to have some U-channel around it. I saved everything, and I've got some extra U-channel if I can run into any problems. Now, here's the thing. When I measure, because we built this door. When I measure from there to there, I think it's only like 20 and an eighth. Let's double check that real quick. 20 and an eighth. What do we got? 20 and 1/8. Now, when I go in here to measure the inside measurement where the door will sit, so let me get that open a little bit. 21 and an eighth, heavy eighth, even at that. So that's a whole inch Are they killing an inch with U-channel and piano hinge? I just have to build it to find out. I don't like that idea, you know, but that's what we're going to do. And so I'm not going to go quite this wide. I think that's a bit much. I just used what they had. I've got this really, really nice dimensional 1x6, I think, 8 foot long. It's got real nice edges on it, but we're going to crisp up those edges. And we're going to rip that down, and we're going to recreate this the best we can. It's 67 inches tall on the inside, and so is the door. And then this just sits on the floor, and you screw it in from the outside. So, let me get to it, and I'll show you. Got the glue laid down. Got my 90. As you can see, we want up here 90, across 90. Now we got to get this one laid in. So really, all I'm going to do is line it up on this top piece. And to give it a good tack right here. Not going too close to the end because I don't want it to split. And really, to make my measurement, I just used 3/4. This is always going to be 3/4. You know, sometimes you might mark it wrong using a tape measure, but when I do things like this, I just get my 3/4 right here, and I'm just going to set it right in here, put it flush with the edge of the door before the glue dries. Hold that down. Now I've got my 3/4. Tack it in. And I'll show you why I'm doing this. It's really following what the factory did. Okay, because really, earlier you saw that 1x6 that I was going to cut down, and that's what these are. I made these 2.5 right here. And then I put that trim that you just saw me lay down. See, this is going to be the inside. Let me see if I can set this camera up. Oh gosh, I'm making ugly faces at you and everything. There we go. All right. Ooh, there's a good shot. Look at that, serendipity. So here is what you're going to see when you look from the inside. So I'm inside my camper looking, and I'm like, boy, that's beautiful. I used this piece of trim like this. They didn't have like the original, and I didn't feel like making my own. So I got this because I think this is real nice. And sometimes when you get these extra relief cuts in here or whatever, those are profile. It'll put a little shadow on there. It'll just make it look a little more interesting. So we went 90 here, 90 there, and I think it looks real nice. And it matches here real well, but it's gonna get amber shellac. But anyway, see, what this did was create a place on the inside for your screen door to shut. It'll shut right into that. Because the door itself, on the outside, it has a piece of aluminum that comes out to about there. So it'll shut with a lip right there. So that gives us room for the screen door, and the door shuts on the outside like that. So this is what it looks like. Can you see that a little better shot for you if I get out of it? So I think it looks real nice. I'm real pleased with it. Now, I didn't do 90 here. I thought about it, but it wasn't like that at the factory. So we don't have to do everything like they do at the factory. Like we didn't do this trim. This was easier. It was already done. It's gonna lay down shellac great. But this, I don't know. That's just how they did it. I'd rather do 90s, but I like this. I like it. It just says, hey, 1953 called, and they appreciate you working on their door for them. All right, well, there's the door. And I think that's probably about it for this video. Did you like and subscribe? I haven't said that in a long time. I appreciate it if you would, if you haven't. And I'll be back in a couple of days with something interesting and maybe exciting. I don't know. Tune in, find out. Appreciate you.